Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you joined today. I hope you're having a great week and I'm excited that you've tuned in. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas, and I blog at createwithkelly.com. And you can email me at kelly@createwithkelly.com, just as long as you spell my name with the EY the right way. I know there's a lot of Kellys out there who spell it a different way, but would love for you to join me anytime. I have a Facebook group called Create with Kelly Crew, and those are my paper crafting peeps around here. You don't have to be in the Lubbock area to be able to join that Facebook group. You just have to go on and sign up and join. And you can also subscribe to my blog from anywhere, and would love to have you as a subscriber so I can give you some tips and techniques and kind of show you my style with paper crafting and card making. And I'm thrilled to have you. If you don't have a demonstrator already, I can send you a new catalog. Those just came out in May. It's exciting to have all new products to play with. And we have a color refresh, so lots of colors to play with too. So hope you will let me know when you come on, make a comment, and I'll show you the little scoop here that you need to do in order for me to see who you are, because there's a certain way you have to make a comment whenever you're on you'll show up as Facebook user to me unless you go on and give StreamYard.com/Facebook. If you give StreamYard permission to view your comments, then I'll get to see who you are. Or you can just type it in the comments and I'll know also, but would love to know who you are and where you're from and whether you have a demonstrator, all that kind of thing. I'm happy to send you a catalog if you are interested in one. And I do have one Facebook user here who's made a comment. Glad. Good morning. And also have Kathy Winters. Thanks for tuning in, Kathy. Good to see you again. And Judy, glad to have you. I've got viewers on Facebook and on YouTube, and I know some of you will be watching the replay. So I am thrilled to have you any way you tune in. I'll get that comment off so we can kind of start playing. I will show you at the end. I have a whole class built around this Masterfully Made suite that is in the brand new catalog. Today we're going to do this one card, and I will give you the details on that. But if you're interested in a full class, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of 5 different cards you'll get to make. This is not one of them. I could only make 4 out of a pack. The rest of them I got to make about eight or so. And I have used up the full pack of this paper except for some little bitty squares that are about 2 inch by 1 inch. Have a couple of those scraps left, and that's about it. So I am glad to be back live with you. Hope you got to tune in while I was gone. Did have a wonderful vacation that was very refreshing. It was not relaxing. We did a lot of sightseeing and we're on a jazz cruise, which was a lot of fun. So I'll post some pictures soon. I had to come back and get the paper share ready and get the class ready and all that first before I got into the photos. But I'm so glad you've joined again. And hello, Denise Washington from Maryland. Thrilled to have you on board. I am glad you're here. That's awesome. Good to see you again. So thanks again for everybody who's tuning in. I wanted to make an announcement about our designer series paper sale. We do have that going on through the month of June. So if you fall in love with this suite of paper, this masterfully made paper like I did, you may want to grab one while it's on sale. Or you may have lots of other favorites. I do have one paper share left that if Judy doesn't take it, I do have that available where you could get a sampling of all of these papers. But all of our papers are usually $12.50 for a pack of the 12 by 12 paper or 6 by 6 paper. And they're on sale for $10.62 for that whole pack. And then some of them, we do have some 6 by 6 size that are on sale for $8.92. And I think that's the only, you've got one that's that. The rest of them are $10.62. So basically it's all of the papers that are in the catalog that are not specialty papers. So bright and beautiful, countryside inn, delightfully eclectic, earth and elegance, fresh as a daisy, glorious gingham, hello irresistible, that's an online exclusive, and inked botanicals, as well as less shops. Let's go fishing, masterfully made, that we'll be focusing on today, stargazing, and zoo crew. So lots of fun new papers to play with and new colors. So if you stay tuned through the end, I'll show you the 5 cards that we're going to make in the class. And I will offer it locally as a class that you can come in person, and I will also offer it as a class to go. So lots of fun things going on. One other announcement is our starter kit promotion. If any of you are not demonstrators currently and fall in love with this new catalog and want lots of products, then the best way to do it is to join my team. We have a wonderful team of folks with our Create with Kelly crew. We call our team members our crew captains. And I have 8 or 9 on my team right now, and we get together and do fun things lots of times. So we'd love to have you join us. And if you don't want to be a demonstrator, if you just want to buy products at a discount, that's a great way to be on my team. If you would like to kind of start a side hustle, I'd love to have you on my team. So you just let me know what works for you. But when you join Stampin' Up, you get to choose whatever products you want. And right now, during the month of June, with the Starter Kit Plus promotion, you get $155 worth of products for just $99. And they pay the shipping. Hello. It's a win-win. Deal of the day. Just saying. Not going to push it on you, but if you're interested, let me know. Happy to chat with you about it. Okay, we're going to get going here. I have a simple little fold that I've done several times with different cards, and they all look totally different. Look how different these 2 cards look, even though they're kind of in the pink tones, but they look totally different, just changing up the designer series paper. And you can change this distance right here. It starts as a 4 1/4 by 11. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. We'll switch these over. Boop, there we go. Okay. So this is a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then you just take your paper cutter. I was just showing you on this one, but just to show you, you can put the designer series paper all the way across, or you can do it with a border like this one. I really like the way the border showed up on this. It makes the DSP stand out more. So you just take your piece of designer series paper, your cardstock, which in this instance is Berry Burst, which is one of our returning colors, used to be an in color. And then on this card, I went in 1/2 inch. So you can see the, sorry, I don't have a way to zoom in unless I go up like that. Maybe we can try that. So you can see this this is the 0 line. You go over to the 1/2 inch mark, which is right there. I don't want to lose my score blade here. I'll put this back in. So you'll line that up at 1/2 inch. And then you start at the 5 1/2 mark right down here, which you can see that on your trimmer also. 5 1/2, this little line there points right to that. So you just start there and go up. We'll just do it because I've already cut it. I don't want to make a little infinitesimal change there, but that's it. Then flip it over and do 1/2 inch. You can start at the top and go down, or start at the bottom and go up. I usually start down here so that I'm pushing the paper against the trimmer. There you go. See that a little better. So just go up 1/2 inch, and then you can either trim it like this on your trimmer, or you can use your paper snips. Usually, so that I don't make a mistake and go too far accidentally, I just use my paper snips. So that's what we will do once I find my little goodie bag of those. Okay, so you just snip that off. And you don't have to be exact right this minute. Just kind of get that flap off of there. And then we'll fold this. Use our bone folder to burnish that. Get those out of the way. And you can see that is not exactly right there, not exactly straight. So you can just snip that a little bit more, get that straight, both sides. That one's pretty close. Okay. So now we have that, but you can adjust this. Like I said, this fun fold is easy peasy to cut back or cut down, change up the sides. This is a good size to cut your DSP. It's 3 by 5 1/4. So when you cut these into 3, that means you'll get 8 out of a sheet of the 12 by 12, because you'll have 3, 6, 9, 12. You'll have 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom that you can get. So we're just going to glue that on. And if you don't want the ribbon to show inside like this, then you can wrap the ribbon around the designer series paper. But with 2 of them, 2 different ribbons, I just thought that was kind of cool to see the green here. It picks up this green. So I left it where it's on the inside, as you can see there. So we're just going to glue this. You could use your Stampin' Seal, which we're going to do. You could use Stampin' Seal. You could use your liquid glue, whatever floats your boat. Are y'all having a great week? It is quite an adjustment for me getting back from vacation. Woo! And then came back and had COVID too. So, but not nearly as bad as the first time I had it. So I'm happy about that. But sorry, I missed being with y'all last week because I just could not talk. As you can imagine, I'm still a little hoarse this week. Didn't quite get that even there. Okay. Now, just leave. Whoop! Almost put that upside down. Were y'all saying, Kelly, Kelly, watch it, watch it. Focus, focus. That's what my husband says. Oh, goodness. Yes, I chase a lot of rabbits. That's for sure. Okay. Now we'll get our little sides on. We're going to use seal on that too. And if you wanted tons of roses, you could use that side. But I thought it was a nice contrast to have the green on the sides. So that's what we'll do. Using my silicone mat so I don't get glue all over my work surface here. And you can look and see if you want your paper to look torn that way or the other way. Whoops, I keep moving it up. I moved my phone, I guess. Move the camera. Having to readjust here. So just try to get an even border on that. And these strips are, I believe, 1/2 inch. Let's look. We have a huge ruler here, but this will work. Now it's about, let's go this way. It's 3/4. So these strips are 3/4 by 5 1/4. And you don't have to go all the way down with that, but sometimes it's easier to do the whole strip than it is to do little pieces like that. Okay. And then you have to think about, do you want these to match? These are kind of torn down at the bottom. So I'm going to make them match where these are torn at the bottom too. It's not, the pieces of paper won't match exactly, but it'll be the same style this way. If you wanted it opposite, you do it your way. It's your card. You create it however you want. I know some of y'all who do classes have heard that plenty of times. Okay, we've got that part done. Now it's time for our stamping. We'll get out our Stampin' Pierce mat, and which, sorry, has stuff on it from last time. I'm going to be using several different stamp sets today. The one that goes with the suite is the Gorgeously Made, which is beautiful with that paper, with all the papers in that set. And it comes with that you can buy the bundle for 10% off and get the Gorgeously Made dies as well as the stamp set, which has some fun texture that you can just layer and make collages and do all kinds of wonderful things. So love that set. But we're not stamping with it today because I wanted a birthday card for my friend Dion Green. So she is on my team and she works at Texas Tech. She's a lot of fun. So we're going to celebrate her. This one is going on the inside. This is Layering Leaves. This is one of the stamp sets I will be using today. And this was a Rachel Tessman. Whenever anybody in Stampin' Up sells $1 million worth of products, they get to design their own stamp set with a Stampin' Up designer. They meet and come up with a stamp set. So this is Rachel Tessman's that just came out in this catalog, and it matches our bow punch, which let's see if I can grab that really quickly, if it's in here. Yeah. That is this punch right here. So this has been in a couple of catalogs. I think it was initially in a Christmas catalog, but it has two different sizes of little leaves, bows, however you say it, bow punch. 157711 is that number. And that will cut out all these leaves. Isn't that pretty? Fun, fun, fun. So I almost used these little roses, but I decided to use a different set. So that one. And then we're just using the Happy Birthday from the Very Best Occasions set. This has been a flexible set that I've used a ton. I used it at Christmas all the time last year, 159871, and it is carried over to the new catalog. And then on the inside, I decided to use this one. This set, Courage and Faith, is a new one in this catalog, the May 23 through April 24 annual catalog. And the Courage and Faith stamp set has some great scripture verses that are in a nice font that are easy. You know, they're not too thin so that you can't read them when you stamp them. These are great for stamping with. And then you can use the little leaves or dots to go around it or above it or whatever you want to do to frame the greeting, which I thought was a lot of fun. So we're kind of using a combination of all these sets today, which is not a surprise for me. I need what I need. So this one has So Happy to Celebrate You on the inside. And you can see we used the little set, the dots and the leafy floral kind of thing. That kind of, to me, went with this torn paper kind of a look. And so that's what we're using. And then we're also using the Lemon Lime Twist, or this is actually Parakeet Party and White Baker's Twine, but it works great with this Lemon Lime Twist ribbon, both of which are in the new catalog. The Baker's Twine comes in a pack with all 5 of the end colors that started last year. And then the Lemon Lime Twist comes in a combo pack with the Petal Pink ribbon. So lots of fun there. All right, we're going to stamp first. Let's get our inside going. And then I did not bring in our little tags that are nested tag essentials, or let's see what those are. We'll just look in our book. And if any of y'all are my customers or you want a set of tabs, I used kind of some, not only the catalog tabs for this year, but some past ones, and just put names over them so that I could make my own tabs so I could find things quickly. So I've got dies right here. I have a little tab. So if y'all want me to email you that file with all these on it, I'll be happy to do it if you'll let me know you want one. And then you can make your own little tabs. Okay, let's find our tags. I know they're still in here. Quite sure I checked that before I used them. Tailor-made tags right here, 155563. That's what I used. I used the smallest tag and then used it comes with the little reinforced circle or the kind of a little squared off circle, I guess. Hello, Janice. Glad you've joined today. Thank you much for tuning in. I'll show you the card again in just a second. Thanks, Kathy, for the compliment about the card. Okay, here we go. Here's the card we're going to make. Just wanted to show you all those tags. Let me get a sip of water real quick. Okie dokie. Now, We've got Berry Burst that we're using as a color along with Pretty Peacock. Let me get all these out. Hopefully that's out of y'all's way where you don't have to see all this mess. Okay. And this, I just wanted to see if my old Berry Burst pad would work, and it did. So I'm trying to be frugal and not buy things just to have the newest. This is working, and I have a matching refill. So if you have an old pad and don't have a refill for it, then I would recommend getting a new pad. Stampin' Up! Recommends for chemical, to make sure there's not a chemical reaction of some kind or something, that they recommend buying the ink pads and the refills at the same time. Okay, we're going to do this. Make sure I'm on screen here. Just do the happy birthday. And I just chose this set because it fit on the tag I wanted to use. So that's the Berry Burst on our little tag. And then let's find our little cleaner right here. Because that Berry Burst, whew, it's a vivid color, so it really will stain your stamp quickly. Okay, that's out of the way. Now we'll go with our Pretty Peacock. Where did we? No, we used the Let's Celebrate You. We used the Berry Burst on that. Let's go ahead and do that while we've got this pad out. So Happy to Celebrate You. And this is from Rachel's set, the Layering Leaves set, I believe it was called, that I showed you moments ago. And you can try to make this straight, or you can do it at an angle. It's kind of a fun little scripty thing, so you could go either way. Okay, there's that. So there's our Berry Burst. And this was a color that I really liked, so I was glad to see it come back, along with the Pretty Peacock. That was one of my faves also. Move this down again. All right, we're going to use the Pretty Peacock on the pieces from the Courage and Faith stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp this up in Pretty Peacock. Just tap, 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 and look at it. See, this isn't quite covered enough. Now you can see that it is. So, and I don't have a big mess around the edge, because that big mess sometimes can show when you stamp. So we're just going to do this the same way I did that other one that I did for Dion. All right. Easy peasy. But you can see if you had a wider piece of paper, you could frame that little greeting on both sides. And then I did use the scripture verses on several of the other cards that we'll be doing for this class. So y'all let me know if you're interested in a class in person or the class to go kit. And I will have that up on my blog soon. I'll have a link to that, the Google form, where you can choose whether or not you want to buy the suite and get the class at a discount, or if you just want the class and want to buy the suite on your own, or however you want to do it. You'll have some options, which is always nice, isn't it? We like having options, especially as creative people and crafters. We like to create things our own way and figure out how we want to do things. Okay, I've got the markers, which the Stampin' Write markers are the same ink that you have in your ink pads. So if you aren't in a place where you can buy all of the ink pads at one time, but you could buy the marker set, that would be a great way to do it, because you can actually use your markers on the red rubber stamps, or you can use them to color in after you've already stamped an outline. So I'm just going to kind of go with these aren't really roses, but they kind of work with that petally look flower that's on the front designer series paper. Or I thought they did anyway. So I'm just coloring the ones that look like flowers. And this is such a small area. I'm not going to worry about using blends. I have not bought blends in all the new colors yet. That's on my next list. I bought all the ink pads, but not the blends yet. And the markers I have. So that was exciting to have those options. And then now we're using Lemon Lime Twist, which is a returning color this year too. It has been an in color in the past and came back. Our in colors usually stay in for a total of 2 years. And those are usually the trendy colors that year. And I don't know how all the people, I don't know how they all get together, but it seems like once you see colors, you'll see it on textiles, you'll see it on pillows and rugs and clothing and paint, wall paint colors and paper crafting, and everybody gets together and decides what are the new in colors. So I don't know how all that magic happens, but I'm glad that Stampin' Up is always up with the trends, because you'll see patterns, you'll see colors, all of that are definitely on trend. So that is great. Hello, Glenn. Thank you for the compliment. I'm glad you liked the card. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to have y'all. Okay. And I think that is all we're going to do on the inside. And I've decided on the happy birthday, I wanted to use one stamp that is the texture. It's kind of like words that aren't total words. We've had these before. And use a little bit of fresh freesia on this and see how we like it. I think I'm going to stamp off instead of going full force. We're just going to stamp off and then stamp on a little bit lighter, so we have a little bit of interest on our card front. We'll see which one we like better once we get it on there. Hopefully I have my little reinforced circle things. If not, they don't really show that much, so you can see how you like that with or without it. We will look and see if I have it in my little, oh, I do have it in my little set here. Okay, let's close this ink pad up, Kelly, before you make a mess. Right? Y'all do that? I just ruined one of my sample cards yesterday. Well, I didn't ruin the whole card, just the greeting, and had to redo it after I showed it off at lunch. We have a Create with Kelly crew lunch here in Lubbock once a month, usually on the first Friday. And we're going to start having those at Sugar Bakers. They had a really nice meeting room. If y'all are in this area, it was a lot of fun to go there and have a little private room. And on the last one, I used this on the front. We'll see what we think. I think I may use this fresh freesia since we have that in the background. Let's try a little bit different color and see what we think here. I'm going to use the liquid glue on this because that's easier. On something small like this, I prefer this over trying to get some seal on there and get it everywhere. We'll see if this comes out for us. Maybe. Maybe not. That is one thing about liquid glue. It sure can give you fits, but it does a great job and lets you have a little wiggle room while you're working on it. Okay, I'm just going to see if I can use my take a pick tool, kind of get that picked up. Here we go. There we go. Now, got that right around the circle. And these little, do y'all remember when tags used to have those kind of craft colored tags, and they all had the little reinforced hole things? Kind of funny. And now they're making them decorative. Okay. we're going to go ahead and glue this on the inside. And this piece is, I believe, 3 inches, just like our DSP. Yes, 3 inches by 5 1/4. And we'll just stick that on. And get that lined up in the middle, kind of center it here. It should match up with the top of those and then have an even border on the sides. And I'm barely going to lay it down, make sure the bottom works too. So you should have kind of even on both sides there. And be careful because the berry burst is a deep color like the pretty peacock. So I'm trying not to go over that right now and make sure that's dry. All right. Now we've got our 2 ribbons. And our scissors, special ribbon scissors. Okay, we're putting these up. And I discovered, of course, my tendency is to just go ahead and tie the bow, but then you have to tie another little piece over it to get the tag through it. So I found when I did this yesterday, I think I did it, let me see, I cut it. I'm going to go ahead and just fake tie the bow, not really get it exactly the way I want it yet. Well, let's see if I could put it in at this point on this side. I think I've gotten a little too much there, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be about right. Okay, so we're going to leave that there for the moment. And I'm a little off on this. Let's see. Let me redo that really quickly so I don't waste a bunch of ribbon. Bunch of the baker's twine. We'll even those up. And this is backwards from the way I usually tie it because I'm trying to get the tag on. Ah! Nope. Needs to go the other way. Oh my goodness. Is that right? Okay. We're going to try this. You'll just have to practice and see which way you want to do it for your tag to hang right. Otherwise, it doesn't matter which way you tie your bow, but it's just you're trying to get your tag in there too. Let's get our little take a pick tool here. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing. Yep. Anybody have any questions or anything? Hope y'all are having a great weekend so far. We got to go over to some friends' house last night to celebrate a birthday for one friend. And then we have some others coming tonight to do something with. And then we have others the next night. So we're got a busy weekend, but it's a lot of fun trying to catch up with everybody after we've been gone a couple of weeks. Okay, so y'all can see kind of how I'm working that around. And then you can still move it, but you can't really, you kind of have to get this where you want it as far as positioning the bow over the hole in that little reinforced circle, if that makes sense. Okay, then we may want to redo the way the bow is actually shaping up here. Just kind of futz with it a little bit. And you hold the middle if you're gonna do some adjusting, hold that middle section and then retighten it back up. I want the loops to kind of be different sizes, not too far off. There we go. I think we've got it about right. Get my ribbon scissors. Whack that off at a little bit of an angle. Same there. There we go. And like I said, this is the lemon lime twist that comes partnered with the petal pink. And this is Parakeet Party in white, which they are very close together as far as the coloring goes. Isn't that pretty? See, this is a little bit different piece of that paper, the same 12 by 12. And this part is in the middle of the 12 by 12. I don't have another piece. Like I said, I've used them all up. So you have, well, I have berry burst everywhere. It looks like I'm in an accident, but it's not blood, peeps. It's just berry burst. Okay. So we're going to get that kind of like we want it. I'm going to try to make the bow go the other way. There we go. Now, do I want to move this over? So you can just slide that over, slide it up, slide it to whichever side you want. If you want it this way and make that come up more. And if you want the tag to hang loose, you can. Or if you want to attach it, you can, where it doesn't move. We don't really want the bow covering up our main rows there. Main paper rows. There we go. I like that. So you can put a little glue dot underneath there if you get it where you want it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use my take a pick tool, get a little glue dot, and then stick my tag to the bow. Now it's not glued down side to side on here, so that's just loose, which is kind of the way I like it. All right, then what do y'all think about the detail on the texture? Can you see that on the tag, how the one on the right has the little fresh freesia words behind it, and then this one is just white. Which do you like on that? We'll ask. Then we've got some embellishments, adhesive back sequins trio. This one is the one that comes with that suite if you order the whole suite with the paper and the bundle. 161206. And it has pink ones and white ones. And let's try, since we have the little fresh freesia background, let's try a pink one. And some of these are really pink and some are more orangey and some are kind of purplish. And so let's try pink on this one. And then we'll put a pink here. And put one here. There we go. There's 3. We can do that. And then if you want to see, I am quite sure there are better ways to do this. But I know we had a class on, thanks to Vina, I do love these colors too. That berry burst really pops with that lemon lime twist, doesn't it? I really like it. But you could use any designer series paper with this fold. It's just really a fun, flexible fold. But this, I'm going to show you what I did here. Can you see that that really is 3D? I know that there's a way to do quilling where you wrap the strips of paper around your pen or something and then do something, but I didn't have time to look it up. So I just wadded it up and kind of glued as I went so that I would have one that's 3D on there. So we're going to try that on the air, of course. All right. And I'm just taking that little strip that I cut off the side here and I'm peeling it toward me. And when you peel it toward you, that gives you the rough side up. So you could always flip it over and use the other side if you didn't like that much of the paper showing. Let's move this so there's room here for y'all to see what I did. Not saying it's the right way. Like I said, it is a way. It's the way I did it. Oh, goodness. I haven't talked this much in a while. Have to have a teeny bit more water. Okay, this one we're going to need the liquid glue. And I just put, I kind of match the darkest of those. This one didn't have a center, so I'm just kind of putting glue all over that area. And then I am just going to, forgot I need to wad this up, just back and forth, wad it up, crumple it up, however you want to do that. Try to get this where y'all can see. Sorry, I'm kind of leaning. Whoops, we'll go that way. Leaning in. Isn't that a song? Somehow. Leaning. Not the religious one. I'm thinking of a different one. Okay, so we're just going to add a little glue to that part and push that down on it. Push, wad a little bit more, stick it down. Then add a little glue in between there. Turn it a little bit, stick it down. Stick that one down to the glue that's already there. Add a little more to the berry burst strip that I'm using. So each little place you go with it, just add a little more glue. Unless it's going down on the piece of paper where you already have it. And if you don't like the way it turns out, you can always just rip it right back up with this liquid glue. It takes a little bit to set. And you can always add a little bit more on top, another layer on top. So we're going to fold that in there. Okay. Oops, that might be a bit too thick. Let's flatten that out just a little bit. Now I'm going to add some more glue in here. Add a little glue there. Wad, wad, wad. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I think this is called the torn paper technique. Strips of paper. Okay. Just kind of going for it here, as you can see. Because did I practice? Nope. I just did it once yesterday and thought, oh, that's kind of fun. I'm going to tear that off. Now I'm going to get a little more glue here. A little more there to attach that to. So each time you fold a piece of paper over, you just need a little glue to attach that part. Now we're going for it in the center. You wouldn't want to make 100 of these probably, but if you have a special friend, it is worth a little extra effort to get this look. And as you can see, you do not have to be exact. You do not have to be an artist. You do not have to be talented. Anybody can tear strips of paper, right, and glue them down. That's all I did. I think we're just going to tear this off and be done with it. And then we're going to add a little sequin on top in the center. See, now we have just like a little flower. Whenever we put the sequin, it's going to complete it. Let's see, do we need a big one or a small one? We'll try a small one first. And these are self-adhesive dots. So they already have the glue on them. There we go. I think we need one more down here. So we have 5. And you could certainly use white if you wanted. That's what I used here. But we're going to use... no, I don't like that pink on there. Let's try one white one down there on the fuchsia. I mean the freesia. Do we want that in the center? No, that's not really a flower. You kind of want most of your embellishments around your focal point, which is usually your greeting. So there we go. How cute is that? Look. And of course I didn't I didn't look at the inside. I've got it twisted. So let's just do that right there. And now you'll never know, because we're going to twist it over here. Now, and like I said, if you want to attach that, you can. Probably put a dimensional behind it would be good if we want to kind of keep it there so that the bow is in the right spot. I'm just going to do one right there and kind of leave this up. But that's all there is to it. Isn't that fun? The designer series paper basically does all the work. And then you can play a little bit with the paper stripping or paper strip torn paper technique. But the artist on this, the Stampin' Up artist who designed this, actually tore all of these papers and stamped on here or did whatever to get that background. But all these are torn strips of paper that they did on the original piece and then photographed it. So isn't that cool? So all of these she did by hand, stamped or did whatever to get all the different textures, textured some of them, and then tore them, and that whole pack is that way. Isn't that fun? So I really liked it. I thought it was great fun. And I will show you what that pack of paper looks like, and then we'll bring this back out again. But this is from one of the paper shares. Here, when you do a paper share, you usually get a 6x6, unless I mess up and forget to order enough of the 6x6, and then you get a 3x6. But the paper share I did was just $31, and you got a sampling of all the papers. So I'm just going to quickly do front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. And here's that page, front, back. And this one has kind of a little scene on it, mountain scene, front and back. So there are all your papers. Love this, love these colors. I'm with Denise, who I think Denise was the one that said you really love the colors. Yes. All right. So if anybody needs a pack of this, it is on special right now for $10.62, and it does come 12 by 12. I cut it down to 6x6 for the paper share. So y'all let me know if you need this or any other products from Stampin' Up. I'm happy to help you. And I promise to show you the cards. So thanks for hanging in there with me. You're about to see 5. Just a sec. Oops. Okay. If I can find them. Oh my goodness. Here they are. Okay. Hoorah. Okay. Here's the one, like I said, that features the Courage and Faith stamp set that has the scripture on it. This is the one that has the little piece that has the mountains. And then I used the die cuts from the Masterfully Made set and added some of the paper on the inside. This is from You Make Each Season of Life Even More Beautiful. Isn't that pretty? Wouldn't you want someone to send you a card for that? And everything give thanks. And I'm quite thankful for the life I have and who I get to share it with. So, and part of that is sharing it with you. So I love that the good Lord gave me the gift of creativity, and I love sharing that with others and inspiring you to use your gift of creativity. Okay, here is a card similar to the one we just did. And this is Susan Campfield did this fold the first time I had seen it. It's called the Flying Finch fold, I think, because it's like it has wings that pops out like that. Isn't that pretty? So this also uses a paper that features the pretty peacock, but it's a similar layout, just a thank you card. And then here's the back, and it stands up. How cool! Yay! So that's one you'll get to make if you do that class, those 2 cards. Then I also have this one that is with that other sheet of paper. Y'all can see the papers that I just showed you, and use some of the texture stamps that are in that Gorgeously Made. Use the dies that are in the Gorgeously Made bundle. And this is our new Bubble Bath color, which works really well with the Fresh Freesia. And I use this from the Texture Chic again. Thank you, Janice. Glad you approve. Glad y'all are all watching, and thanks for watching the replay for those of you who watch the replay too, as well as the live. And this is the new Countryside Inn embossing folder that's from a different suite. So you can mix and match suites. You can mix and match colors. You can mix and match designer series paper from one and a greeting from another and an embossing folder from the other. It's all mix and matchable, especially with this kind of collage looking paper torn technique. And then this spiral, torn out of a spiral kind of look, is kind of a trendy thing too. So that is one of the dies that's in the set, and it has the bubble bath. Sorry, not bubble gum, bubble bath ribbon. And this is the brand new color, Azure Afternoon, and then Crushed Curry that picks up some of the colors. I always try to use what's in the designer series paper. And you can see on this, it has the words in the background just like this. It's part of I cut that part off of the card. And then I stamped the little grassy section that is on that gorgeously made stamp set. You can see I use this for texture right on here. And then I tore some more strips and added them here. And then use that again on the inside with the texture. And this is from the Texture Chic. I just really like the way you make each season of life even more beautiful paired with the You're a Great Friend. And that could still be a thank you card. It could be a birthday card. It could be any kind of card you want to make it if you do it that way. And then this is uses the new exposed brick texture folder. Can you see that? Where you have not parts of it are brick and parts of it are just more textured. And then I tore that piece of paper and popped it up over this one. That's that one. And then here's the Flying Seagull card that Susan Campfield designed the fold. Hers was with a totally different set of paper, but if you like vivid colors like I do, I love the brights. If that's too bright for you, you can always put a piece of vellum over it and tone it down, and it would be lovely also. So this is using the same pack of embellishments. It's just using the pretty peacock ones instead of the white and the pink like we used on the other one. And this set of embellishments is called number is 161206. But this stands up on its own. And I used the stamps. I used that background texture, the background word stamps, and then the little wheat looking stamp or plant, wildflower, whatever you want to call it, from the Gorgeously Made set. Stamp that on the sides. And then on the back, I used the May the Lord Bless You and Keep You, which you would want for all of your good friends. So on the front, you've got You're a Great Friend, and then a blessing on the back. So you could, if you needed more panels to write, you could add more white panels. I just left one for writing and then brought the bright color from the outside in. And then this is on a pumpkin pie base. So you've got a lot of different colors. Pumpkin pie, berry burst. That's another berry burst. This is fresh freesia, pretty peacock, and the thick white. So you've got lots of options there that you'll get to play with when you order the class to go or the class in person. Would love to have you here. So thank you very much. I'll be posting those soon. And if anybody have any questions, or we need to wrap it up for the day, I will let you know when that new class is posting. You can please subscribe to my blog at createwithkelly.com, and that will let you have all of the card measurements and supply lists and all that whenever I post a photo of a card. And then I have PDF tutorials that I do for classes like the Masterfully Made? Yes, Masterfully Made class that'll be coming up. I will have PDF tutorials for those who take the class. So anyway, I'm happy to help you with any questions you have. And remember, we've got the 15% off the designer series paper through the month of June. And we also have a starter kit promotion that if you're not a demonstrator and would like to save 20% on your purchases, you can sign up to be on my team and right now get $155 worth of product for $99. So would love to help you with that. Let me know if you need a catalog. I'll be glad to send you one if you don't already have a demonstrator. So thanks again for tuning in. Y'all have a great day and a fun weekend. Fun times ahead. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.